Live and worldwide. Hey everybody, this is LVA Otoro with the Fancy Action Now. And we're here to talk today about the Atari VCS, and its launch price details have come out. So conscientious YouTubers throughout the YouTubeverse have decided to come out and speak on this topic. So I'm an old schooler. I'm a mic ruler. I do have my original Atari video computer system out there in the front room, hooked up with Donkey Kong in the console. Still works. The controllers still work. Solid state, baby. Solid state. So, and you know, I you can't underscore the importance of that console. I mean, that really nationalized and legitimized video games in the home. And in general, it mainstreamed video games. Video games were a novelty. Space Invaders was kind of like a technological leap, and it was like a big deal, and people be wrapped around the corner. I saw this actually as a young person. If a local convenience store or anywhere got a Space Invaders machine, people were lined up around the block and down the street, literally hundreds of people, to play, 25 cents worth of Space Invaders. So it was a weird phenom that went on. I'll never forget waiting in line when Space Invaders first came to my town, and I had my money in hand and waited in line a very long time for my first experience with Space Invaders, and I was impressed. I thought it was really cool. So we all did. I mean, it was just a cool thing. And then Atari, I was given an Atari very, very early on from Sears, where you got everything. Everybody says, oh, Walmart, and Amazon's dominating the market. At one point in time, anything that you wanted, you went to Sears, and that was it. I mean, you barely went anywhere else. So that's where everybody bought their underwear. So, I mean, Sears was like this massive, monumental department store. And they have gone the way of the dinosaur. They kind of should have, because they were just like trying to be everything. And they actually did pretty good. I mean, they were around for a really long time, but they just had these huge monolithic stores that were just tremendous and crazy money to run and maintain and everything like that. So we're talking about this VCS here, and the price point has come out as $399 or four bills. Now, let me say this. It's supposed to be a gaming PC, a home entertainment PC. And the company itself is like Stream. What did they say? I went to the Atari website. No. I did go to the, oh, wait, here it is. Oh, no, it's not. But I went to the Atari website. We'll go back to the article. But they're like Play, Stream, Connect or something like that. So they're going for this 3 buzzword thing, which is very early 2000s, where it's like 3 words, like, live, laugh, love. It's like this. Like Play, Stream, Connect or something like that. And I'm like, you can tell that they hired a like 90s, early 2000 marketing person, where you've got your three words, and it's almost like the 3DO. You know what I mean? It's like the 3DO or this Philips CDI, and it's like it's this Duel machine, and it's just, listen. The problem with the price point, And I'm not saying they might be forced into it. They might say, we have to get this per unit, otherwise it's not going to be feasible financially. But the thing of it is, again, is you have to have the money to be able to do a loss leader and get people on board, or you're not going to be viable. You're not going to have the units sold. So, and again, in video games, it's not the price point that's important. It's units sold. So you're selling the licensing to, because there's so many units out there, developers want to put onto your machine. That's how things work. And every time somebody forgets that lesson, it's been an obvious lesson. I mean, literally the video game history is strewn with consoles that forgot that it's units sold. It's not whether or not you're getting $600 a unit. Look at 3DO. I bought one at the reduced price, which was still $400. Again, the 3DO at the reduced price is the same price point that this is. Okay, so I don't know if these guys are doing this just to cash out. A lot of people do this crowdfunding, and they get to a certain point, and then it just dies because they've got their money out. It's not viable, and they just bail. And I'm like, you've defrauded these people that have, well, it's not fraud. I mean, again, it's your choice to fund these kind of things. I wouldn't fund this because there are so many Atari anthologies, and it's a crowded market. Like, the nostalgia for the Atari VCS is from people of my age. All right, it's not boomers. It's Gen Xers. Gen Xers, okay? And Gen Xers are getting long in the tooth, okay? So it's not millennials, it's not Gen Z, it's not Gen Y, okay? It's Gen Xers, and Gen Xers are not, they don't care to have this. I mean, a Gen Xer like me is going to be like, just give me the new Xbox. And that's a big deal. So if you're gonna have a console, if you're gonna set aside $400 for a console, you have the Switch to choose from, you have the Xbox One S or X, PS4 or PS Pro, which those prices are going to fall off a cliff when the new units come out, and they're going to blow through all the old inventory. Or do you want the Series X that's coming out, which I do, or the PS5, or the Atari VCS? I mean, where are you going? Like, not a lot of people have the extra scratch to throw at a second system. Typically I do, but I usually get them used, or I get them on super sale or something. I don't just go out and buy off the rack, bro. It's too expensive when you collect like me and you have so many systems. But you have to get creative with it. But the problem with the Atari VCS is it's at a brand new leading console amount, but they haven't had a preceding console. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to come out, like they came out with the PS1, which was $200 or $250, right? The PS2, now that was more. That was like $300 and $400. And then they come out with the PS3, which was supposed to be the system to end all systems, at $600. 3DO, $600. And it's like, whoa. That is too much money, bro. And now they're coming out, now they're talking about, one of the Xbox systems, is it Scarlet, or I forget what the name is, but being a free zero-cost console, which I think is genius. Oh my God, that's genius. They should totally come out with like a zero-cost console, and you just get your ultimate, your ultimate every month, right? You have somebody on Ultimate where you're getting $15 out of them. You're what? you're $170 a year. So in 2 years, you've got the price of the console. You got it paid off. And they can just play, what they're... And then you're going to get incremental for everything they want to download. And if they want to expand it as far as you can buy a hard drive, custom hard drive for it from Microsoft. I mean, come on, man. TV streaming, movie rental. I mean, there's all kinds of incremental revenue. So if Microsoft comes out with a zero-cost version, that would be genius. And the Atari VCS, that would be genius if they would make it a subscription model and make it a zero-cost console. Or make it a $49.99. You know what they could do is they could go back in the day to find out what an Atari cost originally. What was the original cost of the Atari 2600? I mean, was it $50? Was it $100? I don't think it was. I think they were like 89. I think they were like $100 or something back in the day. Is have the original price. That would be genius. Like when this launched, it was $99. And that's what we're going to sell you this one for. Perfect marketing scheme. They could show the ads. They could, go play on the nostalgia and just go, yeah, we're going to sell you this system for the same that an original one cost you, but this one does this. Boom, 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 and hit you with the features. I mean, talk about genius. Talk about genius. I'm going to copyright that idea, that marketing plan. Because then you basically have a loss leader console, you're booking revenue, and for Christmas, just on a lark, somebody will spend the $89 or $99. Somebody will pop off an extra $100 just to go, hey man, check it out. Oh, it does movies, games, everything, man. It's super cool. And then you undercut the entire market, and you can actually utilize the nostalgia. That's the way to go. Coming out with a $400 price point is not going to fly. You're going to have a few people with more money than brains buy it, and that's it. You need to have your average Joe go, look, it's the original Atari, and they're selling it. And I would come out with a box that was the same as the retro box and just have it be like seamless. So you do capitalize on the nostalgia. And if your sales are brisk, like again, you're going to take a loss per unit. Everybody does. Nobody's making money on these consoles. Again, it's number of units sold that matters. So if you say, let's just say that the original Atari sold for $99, then like I said, you're booking revenue, you're losing per unit. Maybe they're selling it at cost. Maybe $400 is cost per unit, and maybe they think they're doing you a big favor. So they're losing $300 per unit. But if they have brisk sales and they get 10 million units out there or 15 million units, or it's crazy brisk. They launch at fourth quarter. They put it at the original price point. They blow them out at a ridiculously cheap price, and they get an install base. Then you can make it up. And then when you come out with the subsequent version, like let's say you redo the Jaguar, and like, man, I really love that VCS for the $100. Then you come out with like the Atari 800 computer one, or you come out with the Jaguar or the 5200 or whatever you think makes sense. Let's say you do the 5200 the next year, and it's kind of a little bit bigger, it's a little bit beefier, and you say, okay, this one's because we're doing this or that feature, or we're throwing it in two controllers or whatever it is. This one's $299. Again, if the sales were brisk on the $100 console, and people liked it, it was fully featured, and people got value from it, they'll step up, maybe not exactly in the same number, And then you could say get the original for $49.99 or step up to the 5200 with like a bigger drive, whatever, dude. Whatever you're going to brag about. But at that point, you've established yourself. Do the 5200 for $199. Get the install. If you do it for $199, you'll sell quite a few because it went over the last time. And then do the Jag. Come back out with the Jaguar with a revised controller, not that freaking keypad crap. But you revise the controller and make it look like really harsh, really, really cool, right? So you come out with the Jaguar, and that one's $299. And it's the most fully featured one of all. And by that time, you've got the relationships with the game developers and stuff like that. You might get an exclusive or two. You might do some Atari reimaginings, not remasters, but like reimagining, like an updated version of some of the classics. I mean, just the mind boggles, man. But $4.99 out of the gate for that piece of junk? And it's probably a great system. I retract that. It's probably good. It probably does what it's supposed to do. The controllers look cool. I love the retro and the modern controller. I love the look of the system. And if you put that thing at the original Atari price, whether that was $89 or $99 or $149 or something like that, I'm going to pick it up. But if you throw it out there for $4, I'm sorry, but a Switch and an Xbox Series X and a Lockhart, that's it, Lockhart. A Lockhart or a PS5, those are way ahead of you. You haven't established yourself. See, you're acting like you were established because Atari was something back in the 70s and the early 80s. Okay? You haven't re-established yourself. You haven't done it. So you need to go back and do that. All right. So I'm not in it to win it for $4, bro. Not in it to win it for $4. Not gonna do it. But should I reach out? Should I reach out to the Patreon or their crowd, their Indiegogo, and leave them a message and just say, "Come on, man." Maybe I will. All right, this is LVO Tour Fancy Action now for the gamer, baby. You buying one? $4?